They took me to that spot again in the Bible where they've taken me a dozen times. Remember that they had me read that story about like poverty and how, like, how does it even start off? Here I am dirty and smelly, and like it goes on and on, talks about like how horrific it is, and their kids are crying and they don't have hot water, and it's awful. Like it's such a description, and it's what we would deem as awful, right? And so when I was reading it this time, they had me hear it where I think this is always what they meant, but it came through really loud and clear this time about referencing unconditional love, right? It's like people say when you don't have God in your life. But again, I feel like that's such a hard thing because it's gotten so distorted over the years where it's like they think it's all outside themselves when it's not. It's all within you, and you have to unlock it all to reach it all. And so that's such a foreign concept to us because we've all been like brainwashed the other way. And but so in reading this, it was that idea of like they've never given themselves unconditional love, and they've never felt it outside themselves. And so it's like it's complete helpless and hopeless for some people, because not only have they never reached that depth for themselves, inside themselves, they have never witnessed it or seen it outside themselves. And so that does lead to damn near helpless and hopeless, right? Like if you're in the throes of such despair and poverty and surrounded by such, what hope would there be, right? And so people are bitter and angry and cranky and fighting. Who wouldn't be? You go put yourself in a scenario like that day in and day out. We wouldn't survive a fucking day when you're not grown up in that kind of environment, you know? So it's no joke. And so it's like, don't judge when you see people behaving and acting the way they are. And yet when you can hold unconditional love for yourself, you can offer it to them as well, where you're not judging them, but you're offering them unconditional love. It might be the first and only time they ever feel it, see it, witness it, you know? And I mean, truly, like to be able to offer that to another, truly your full presence and allowing complete openness for unconditional love to flood you, and therefore they can witness it, basically. They can feel it, right? They would then be able to feel it and see it. And it can to some appear like light shining through and out of them. And, you know, and I've shared with you, like my understanding from what I'm taught and what I've experienced and how they showed me, that's the only thing that does heal, right? And so when it does almost feel like a miracle then, right? Because when one witnesses that outside oneself, it's in the hopes that they will then translate that correctly, and that they too can open themselves up to be healed and uplifted, right? And to start to more or less dig themselves out of that hopeless and helpless state and lift up out of it. And in other words, that's the hope of that translation, in that, you know, sometimes people then again attach it to the human, right? And then they're like, oh, that human is so spectacular in that they're a god, or like a god, or like godly, like, I don't know, you know how people get, like they start to praise or idolize that human, is what I'm trying to say, when it's like, it's not that human doesn't deserve credit. I'm not suggesting that. That's the point. That is all of our job. All of our job is to do that, to open up and allow unconditional love to flood us. So that's all of our responsibility. And yet when you put it on one human and think of that, it's almost like thinking that they're the only one who can do it, or that they're special somehow. And again, it's like, yes, they are. I don't want to take it away or take credit away from those who have done that kind of work, because it is tough work. It's a tough, you know, like, I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting I wish people would stop attaching it to the vessel and understand the truth behind it. And so that's the hope of it, is that it offers them hope, because they too can reach that. And yes, it's challenging, but reading this part where there's no love there, right? They're talking about no food, no heat, no hot water. I mean, it's like, Well, that sure the fuck isn't easy either, right? So if you can withstand and deal with that shit, you can fight your way up. And I think it's more that idea, right? Like, it's like having compassion and understanding of where everybody's at, and recognizing why it's like judging or reacting the way you are to other people's behavior when you have no idea where they've been or what they're going through. And if you can lift up out of any judgment or lower energy and offer them unconditional love, you have no idea how much healing that can offer them, right? And hopefully healing meaning hope and so forth. So you have to be open to allowing unconditional love to flood you and heal you, to then offer that to others. Anyway, I just liked how they showed it this time. Same words, same message, but you know how it's like it just hits different or deeper sometimes. Yeah. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.